The Chancellor accuses Cabinet colleagues of briefing against him as senior Conservatives warn the tensions could tear the government apart.
Everybody in the Conservative Party really ought to get a grip. This is a dangerous situation and doesn't do the party, and it doesn't do, above all, the country any good at all.
Philip Hammond has also come under fire from public sector workers after reports he said they're overpaid. Also tonight, acid victims welcome new measures which could see their attackers face life in jail.
I cry over it, I have nightmares. I think about it every time I look in the mirror and see my neck.
Supermarkets are told to scrap use-by dates to stop millions of tonnes of food being thrown away every year. Plus, the 13th Time Lord is unveiled. Jodie Whittaker will be the first female Doctor Who. And in Sportsline at 7:30, Roger Federer breaks records at Wimbledon as he wins the men's title for the 8th time. A very good evening to you. Deep divisions at the heart of the government were exposed today after the Chancellor accused his senior Cabinet colleagues of briefing against him. Philip Hammond said he's been targeted by fellow ministers who are unhappy with his stance on Brexit. His comments follow newspaper reports that he told a Cabinet meeting that public sector workers are overpaid. Tonight, senior Conservatives are urging ministers to focus on their jobs or risk tearing the government apart. Our senior correspondent Ian Woods reports.
The inner sanctum of government, the Cabinet room, where policy is hammered out by ministers who are all supposed to be on the same team. The men's singles final at Wimbledon. Perhaps it made a change from watching the volley of shots being exchanged by some of her most senior colleagues. Ian Woods, Sky News.
Well, let's go live now to Westminster and our chief political correspondent, John Craig. And John, this is all pretty rare, this public criticism of fellow colleagues. How dangerous is this for the government?
It reveals a complete collapse in discipline, a cabinet in disarray and fighting, you might say, like ferrets in a sack. Plenty of Labour people who are not quite so optimistic about a Labour victory as that, if there were to be a general election.
OK, John, thanks very much for that update. And of course, that story is likely to feature prominently in tomorrow's papers. We'll be taking a first look at them at 10:30 tonight with the Daily Mirror columnist Susie Boniface and the PR consultant Alex Dean. Now, victims of acid attacks have welcomed a crackdown on corrosive substances, which means that those convicted could face life behind bars. Home Secretary Amber Rudd said victims should not be the only ones to face a life sentence. That's after a 16-year-old boy was charged over a spate of attacks in East London. Dan Whitehead has this report.
It's been more than 4 years since Tara Quigley was attacked with acid outside her flat in East London. Action is needed. Acid attacks may last just seconds, but leave a lifetime of injury and fear. Dan Whitehead, Sky News.
Supermarkets have been told to scrap use-by dates unless the food is highly perishable and will cause harm. The new guidance from the Food Standards Agency aims to reduce the more than 7 million tonnes of food thrown away in the UK every year. Here's Sky's Gerard Tupp.
Use by, sell by and best before. The dates stamped on our food packaging and confusion over what they mean.
One of Donald Trump's legal team says the meeting between the president's son and a Russian lawyer did not break the law in any way. Speaking on US television, Jay Sekulow also insisted that there was nothing suspect about the president's repeated denials that any of the Trump camp ever had any meetings with Russians. Well, let's go live to Washington now. Our US correspondent Greg Milam. And Greg, this issue for Donald Trump, it's not going away, is it?
No, it's not. And of course, we have that real-time look into how Donald Trump feels about anything via his Twitter feed. And he's actually at his golf course in New Jersey this weekend, where the US Women's Open is taking place. And he includes that investigation by the special counsel as well. And we know that investigation is not going anywhere. OK, Greg, thanks very much for that update there. Now, former Prime Minister Tony Blair has told Sky's Sophie Ridge that he feels sorry for Theresa May because she's being undermined by leading Conservatives who are waiting to throw her off the ledge.
I mean, I think it's a very unsatisfactory situation where I only disagree with her about Brexit.
Police and prosecutors have been accused of betraying British Jews by failing to crack down on anti-Semitic crime. The campaign against anti-Semitism says hate offences are up by almost half over the past 2 years, but charges are down by a third. The CPS says it's prosecuting more hate crimes than ever before. The RSPCA has held a mass clean-up operation off the coast of Scarborough after finding seals and birds entangled in debris. As part of Sky's ocean rescue campaign, Fraser Mort has been to see the impact of the pollution on local marine life.
The cliffs along Scarborough's Jurassic coastline make it difficult for people to get down to the shore. To ends up in this amazing habitat at all is little short of disgraceful. That it could then take the lives of creatures like these is heartbreaking. Fraser Mort, Sky News, Scarborough.
And remember, you can of course make a difference by joining our campaign. You can sign up at skyoceanrescue.com to stay in touch, and of course then share your views with us on Twitter at SkyOceanRescue, and don't forget to use the hashtag @OceanRescue. This is Sky News. Coming up, now we know who the doctor finally finds his feminine side. Welcome back. Now, Doctor Who has regenerated, and for the first time in the show's 54-year history, the role is to be played by a woman. Jodie Whittaker is best known for her part in the crime drama Broadchurch, and a warning: Louisa Pilbeam's report now on changing times for the Time Lord contains some flash photography.
As actress Jodie Whittaker is revealed as the new Doctor Who, today's television announcement is out of the ordinary, shows there's a long way to go for women in the industry. Louisa Pilbeam, Sky News.
Well, let's take a look at the weather now, shall we?
As a cool evening settles over India, the lights shine bright on a crisp New York night.
Monday will be largely fine and warm, with mostly blue skies and strong sunshine, with any showers fizzling out and cloud breaking up during the day. Ahead of that, it's a mostly fine end to Sunday for much of the UK and Ireland. It'll be cloudier with further blustery showers for northern parts of Scotland, and it'll also be fairly cloudy towards southeast England with the odd shower. Most places will be dry overnight with long clear spells as most of the cloud breaks up, with a few showers in northern Scotland.
The weather, sponsored by Qatar Airways.
Now coming up, we've got Sportsline in a moment. Let's get more now on what's happening.
Yeah, coming up in Sportsline, another tough day for England's cricketers.